Hello, my name is Roland Fragon, CEO and lead designer for Battalion Games LLC, and we own the prospective website, allchess.com. My biggest concern right now about the monetary model of the website, because it's supposed to be free to play, pay to compete, so periodic paid entry cash prize tournaments for chess and chess variants, is the exact thing you see on screen: cheating in chess. We, in order to have normal operation at possible profit on this website, would have to find a way to detect and guarantee almost perfectly that we can detect cheaters and then remove them, stop them, ban them, whatever it is we need to do to protect the integrity of the competitions and the website. But you can't just have somebody in everyone's bedroom or living room or whatever sitting over their shoulder, making sure they don't have their phone on, making sure they don't have headphones. And no, you have to detect it through their gameplay. And there are algorithms and statistical systems you can use to do that, but they're all very difficult to implement. And websites like chess.com have the advantage of they started out without major competitions. So cheating was more of an annoying inconvenience that could ruin the experience rather than something that directly affected their bottom line on what they were doing. And because of that, our business model plan might be flawed. Because even if we do manage to get the resources and setup to go through and have cheat detection well set, all it takes is a consistent instance of someone going through and getting around our system somehow, once or twice, that scandal would annihilate the website. And I don't know if it's possible to stop that. So, yeah. I need your thoughts. I have a pretty small community, but I also need the thoughts of the other devs and the people involved. It's possible, but it's a lot of work. Pretty much as much work as setting up the initial website to have good cheat detection. But it will never be good enough. Because you'll never be able to tell if somebody cheated for one move in one game ever. You know? And that maybe that there's a level, a threshold somewhere where how much can we not detect and it still be fine, as in it doesn't directly affect the outcome of tournaments in the long term. Bless you. I don't know how to fix this. And I'd have to know how to fix this to really be comfortable moving forward. Because our one solution would be to come up with another business model that could build as much hype and do as well. Maybe have a separate client in order to discourage some things. That, oh, it's like a lockdown browser thing. It's the only thing you can have open when you're competing. But like that gets in the way of streamers, number one, and we're not trying to do that. And number two, it's really intrusive and has a bunch of like permissions you have to get the customer to enable. And number three, it doesn't stop if they have a separate computer or just another device. I suppose you could get the amount of cheat detection to, a Six Sigma level of certainty that you can detect everything, but every degree of standard deviation from the mean of determining that type of thing. I think you're going to run faster into false positives than you are into detecting everybody. And how do you determine false positives from actual positives? Does it just come up as a flag and you continue to watch their games? What if somebody's style just happens to look kind of like a computer's? Like they deliberately have been training themselves to find the computer moves, the weird moves. Just stylistically, which is a possibility in the modern day that somebody would do that actively. Like after their game, they would specifically try to find the weird move the computer did and then try to like reason out why they did that. That's a way to improve. Like look for the thing that you don't understand that the computer says is good and figure out why it's good. And in a game like Go, which is point based, you can at least go, maybe it's unreasonable for a human to be able to calculate that advantage. Like, oh, it's just a math thing. Like, this set of points is more than this set of points, even though it doesn't necessarily look like it. And this is normally an unintuitive, unhuman move. And then you could just figure out based on the time control whether or not it's reasonable that a human could detect that. But even then, you're going to have prodigies that go outside the norm. And you could attack it from multiple angles, like trying to see if a move matches a set group of computer moves. Trying to see if, like, machine learning, like, really large sample size, and that gives them a list of games from both cheaters and non-cheaters that you have verified or generated yourself, and then has it go through and try to flag each cheat or not, and then train it and train it and train it on the data set until it detects that. And it works. And you could sit there and like put a weight to all of these different flags and tests, and after you have these multiple weights, which you'd have to determine like which ones are the most accurate, and you just have all of the tests, and then after it goes over like a certain threshold of, yeah, this guy's a cheater probably, like in the percentages, you go boom, account suspension. But if we're successful with the current business model, let's say we settle on the paid entry cash prize tournaments being $20 an entry, and the game of the month is Shogi, because we're pretty much guaranteed to have that as game of the month at some point. And we have 200 people sign up. Half of each of their sign-up fees goes directly to the prize pool by current model, because the prize pool is meant to build hype. That's 200 times 10. That's a $2,000 cash prize tournament. So your incentive is for somebody to try to cheat in exactly one tournament, on one account, on one IP. VPNs, etc. can make that happen. And they can possibly spend the entire month as a new account getting to the point where they will properly qualify for the tournament and all of these other things in the ways that we may or may not have in place. And at the end of the month, for this thing, if they can succeed, they get $2,000. If they still have to beat a bunch of really strong shogi players. But that's the risk. So when your entire business model is based off of being able to run tournaments without cheater interference, it calls it into question.